everyone, MiltingMan234 here, and welcome to another Forgotten Media co-op episode, where we dig up some stuff you may or may not have heard of.
Hello, and my name is Luke. You might know me as Luke the Fox from Sonic Dissected with Roger Wade.
It's great to have you on the show, Luke. Wait, didn't you die in a hospital at one point?
I got better.
I see. Well, anyway, today's episode will be taking a look at a film that is a bit obscure, and that film is Pinocchio and the Emperor of the Night. That was made by Filmation and was released on Christmas Day of 1987. The film opens up with a bunch of wagons being unloaded from a ship preparing to open a carnival.
It's a really dark and ominous opening. Reminds me of the Pleasure Island scene mixed with Carnival.
After that segment, we cut to Geppetto's house, where he and his pet bird are preparing a surprise for Pinocchio.
I see Geppetto traded in Figaro and Cleo for a bird.
Actually, this isn't a sequel to Disney's adaptation of Pinocchio.
It's not.
Well, technically this is an unofficial sequel to the Disney adaptation, even though it has nothing to do with Disney, so yeah, I just see it as just a standalone sequel that tries to be a follow-up to the original Pinocchio novels.
Ah, I see.
So Pinocchio comes down to find out that they are celebrating his first birthday for being a real boy for the first time.
Wait till he turns 13 and experiences the wonders of puberty.
And wouldn't you know it, the Blue Fairy / Fairy Godmother shows up to wish Pinocchio a happy birthday, sings a song about life, and gives life to Pinocchio's wood-carven glow bug. But the party is cut short as Geppetto tells Pinocchio to deliver a jewel box to the mayor's office for some money.
Well, I'm sure I can trust you to deliver it. It's not like you're going to get distracted and get captured again when you're a puppet.
While Pinocchio's on his way, his now-alive glow bug, who he calls G. Willikers, tries to keep him on the straight and narrow.
Is that supposed to be Jiminy Cricket?
Apparently the Blue Fairy still doesn't believe that Pinocchio can handle himself, so now we have this Jiminy wannabe by his side. But that doesn't help, since Pinocchio gets distracted and heads over to the carnival, where he encounters a raccoon and a monkey named Scallywag and Igor. And yes, they pronounce it as Igor in this film.
Oh, they told me it was Igor.
Well, they were wrong then, weren't they?
So we got two talking animals distracting Pinocchio from his duty. Nah, I don't think I've seen this sort of thing before.
After some smooth talking from the con artist, they give Pinocchio a ruby for the jewel box, only to find out that it's just a fake ruby and gets in trouble with his father.
So what I gather from Pinocchio's world is never trust talking animals in hats. What? So after Pinocchio gets grounded, he just mopes about it. Really? He knows who they are, so why couldn't they just inform the police?
Yes, it's just another one of those films where the easiest route is completely ignored. Besides, why bother going to the police where you can just run away and try and earn some money working at the circus? Since that's exactly what Pinocchio does while leaving Willikers behind. So while he's at the carnival, he is entranced by a puppet named Twinkle, and we are introduced to Puppetino, the ringmaster of the carnival.
Bloody hell! Puppetino makes Stromboli look like Santa Claus!
Also, what's up with his lips? It's like he got stung by a bunch of bees or something. Puppetino convinces Pinocchio to show off some dance moves to Twinkle, which Pinocchio reluctantly does, and then this happens.
Wait! I want to stop, please!
You'll stop when I want you to, just like the rest of my puppets.
Well, that was creepy. Mr. Melting Man, where are you?
Is it over?
So, Jiminy Cricket, G. Willikers, goes off to find Pinocchio with the help of his new friend Lieutenant Grumblebee and finds him imprisoned. I swear I'm getting deja vu here.
Then the Blue Fairy arrives, gives Pinocchio his soul, scolds at him, then makes him a human again, and warns him to be more careful. Fairy Godmother, can't you free Twinkle too?
That'll cost extra, mate.
So after their escape, the two get separated, again, as Pinocchio goes off to find Scallywag and Igor to get the jewel box back, which leads into the two con artists helping him just so that they can bring him back to Puppetino for some money. Meanwhile, Willikers comes across Grumblebee again, and this time getting drunk off his ass from flower nectar.
And I had just made a brief stop for a little nip of fuel butt.
Tally-ho and all that, what? Hey, make that Pibbs o'clock!
Oi, bugger off, ye foxes! Me pounds be getting tight with them quids and tat and...
You have no idea what you're saying, do you?
Jawohl!
And suddenly we're now in a 2D version of A Bug's Life. Basically, they go to Bugsburg to get some help in finding Pinocchio, after they deal with the town's big problem. Oh no, a toad! Where's Danger Mouse when you need him?
Nah, we need Bucky O'Hare to blast his ass into oblivion. Well, after that little adventure, we cut back to Pinocchio, who saves the two con artists from being eaten by a giant fish.
Well, you're my friends, aren't you?
Yes, because we all know that if you look up gullible and stupid in the dictionary, you'll find this guy.
And here comes our Monstro the Whale, a giant mechanical ship that eats them up and somehow teleports them into the Empire of the Night. Inside, Pinocchio joins a boatman who agrees to help find the music box. Geez, didn't Geppetto ever teach him about stranger danger?
I don't know. I'm sure the boatman with the creepy voice is very trustworthy.
What have you always dreamed of?
I dream of Nintendo allowing Archie to use the rights of Mario to give us a Mario and Sonic crossover comic event.
I dream of being featured as a special guest on the Sonic Dissected series.
Oh, great, another guest.
So, thanks to this bugger, he leads Pinocchio to a palace full of flashy lights and advertises fun.
But there's one small thing we ask in return.
Your sword!
You scare me sometimes, Melting Man. So, Pinocchio has the time of his life in the palace full of kids, toys, and beer? It is booze, bleach, some kind of drink not suitable for kids.
Ah, shut up and drink it. Wait until you get a load of all the cocaine and hookers we got here.
This is just like when I go to the pub. Everyone looks like their faces have melted.
Well, that's enough of that. It's time for another song. And while that's going on, Pinocchio's friends try to rescue him by doing this. After that pointless attempt fails, the illusions of the Empire of the Night fade away as we are granted to the Emperor of the Night, or as I like to call him, Satan, voiced by James Earl Jones.
This is a world where both dreams and nightmares come true.
I knew he was in hell. Well, puppet hell, that is. So let's see. It's revealed that Puppetino has tricked other kids into coming here, having all the fun they want, and in the end they're turned into puppets after signing away their soul.
Yep.
Damn, this is freaking grim.
But here comes G. Willikers to save the day, only to fail. Man, this glow bug never gets a break.
After going through a Doctor Who intro, Willikers gets thrown off the ship and is shortly rescued by Grumblebee, who helps them get back on the ship. Well, that's a nice change. I was getting tired of Willikers saving Grumble all the time.
Meanwhile, back on the ship, Satan, I mean the Emperor, decides to let Pinocchio and his friends free by giving him the jewel box as well as Twinkle. Maybe this Emperor guy isn't that bad after all.
Pinocchio, are you all right?
Damn! Of course he has a hostage situation going on.
So now the deal changes. He'll let his friends go once Pinocchio has sold his soul and become a puppet again. After signing his will away, they're about to be taken away to the dungeon until...
Whoa, is Pinocchio going Super Saiyan?
Only you can choose your fate.
That's right, folks. Not only can you not trust the devil, but you can also defeat him with the power of choice.
And the power of love.
Oh yeah, can't forget that.
But Pinocchio's new power causes the ship to crumble, and they all run away while the Emperor chases after them. But not before turning Puppetino into a lifeless puppet for his failure.
Oh, the irony.
Once they make their way off the ship, Pinocchio and the Emperor duke it out in one last battle, and Pinocchio defeats him.
Wow, I never knew Pinocchio taking down the freaking devil would be so awesome. What's next? Cinderella punching out Cthulhu?
As the sun sets, our heroes awake alive, Geppetto's back to his full size, and Pinocchio is a real boy again. But what about Twinkle?
Twinkle will live.
And so they all merrily skipped home, trying to forget the traumatic experience they had from their encounter with the devil. The mayor is still pissed that he has no jewel box, and they all lived happily ever after.
So that was Pinocchio and the Emperor of the Night. What did you think of it, Luke?
I think this is a rather interesting film. It did somewhat retread the story of the original with XPs of various characters and terrifying nightmare fuel and scary imagery, but it is entertaining with very superb animation.
Well, I kind of liked it. It's an interesting film with some good animation. Although the plot is very similar, it tries to raise the stakes higher by literally putting Pinocchio in hell. Sure, it may look like a run-of-the-mill direct-to-video movie with its bright colors, but it does have a good amount of darkness for some real surprises. There are some good things and some bad things about this film. I felt like the scenes with Willikers slowed down the film since he didn't do much to help out, and it tries to be a sequel to Disney's Pinocchio when it clearly has nothing to do with it. In fact, Disney filed a lawsuit against the film claiming that it was copyright infringement. But in the end, Filmation won the case, claiming that Pinocchio and its novels are in the public domain, hence why there have been other film adaptations and even more bizarre adventures featuring Pinocchio. So in conclusion, it's a decent film. It has its flaws, but it's worth watching at least once.
Yes, I'm glad you brought that up about the lawsuit. And yes, the scene in Bugsburg did slow down the story a little.
Aside from having very little merchandising like a comic book adaptation, the film has only been released on the VHS Laserdisc. Now the VHS copy is not that hard to find, but good luck trying to find a Laserdisc version. Well, that wraps up this episode of Forgotten Media, so this is Melting Man 234 signing out.
And this is Luke the Fox saying, cheerio!